Cheers! Yeah. Hey boo, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Manny and I like to play dress up. Today I have my besties with me. We're gonna do a little bit of a podcasty vibe. We're going to be bringing TikTok stitching to YouTube and reviewing videos that are so inspirational, so motivational. And I figured, you know what? Let's talk about it, right? So to my right, I have
Maria.
Are you cheering? And to my left, I have Jen. You're still with us after all of that.
We apologize in advance.
Yes.
If a flower doesn't bloom, do you blame the flower or do you blame its environment, right? So imagine like if this plant didn't bloom, are you going to like blame the plant and check the plant, or are you going to check the soil? Are you going to check the light? Are you going to check the air around it, the humidity? Because that's the reason why the plant grows, right? So we are that flower, right? But if we're not growing or we're not sprouting or blooming the right way, what is your environment? Who are you talking to? What Instagrams are you scrolling? What things are you filled with in your feed? What's your mind constantly talking about, even if it's about your body?
Definitely around the people you hang around with, because that's where you're getting your advice from. They're cheering you on to do bad things because they're on a bad vibe.
Yes.
So in order to get out of that, you need something to help you and call you on your shit too.
That part.
Even though you don't want to hear it, you need to get called out on your shit. You need those type of friends that are going to get you in that situation.
I love calling people on their shit. Love to see it.
I'm the same way. I think that's the energy. I remember when I was like through my party girl phase, and I was surrounded with people that only wanted to party. I'm one of those persons that I thrive off of people's energy.
It's also what you attract, right?
It's also what you attract. I remember when it was be like Friday, and they would be like, let's go out. And I'm like, I'm fucking broke. Yeah. They'd be like, no, we got you. I'm like, fuck it. All right, let's go. So even aunque no quería a veces, I would still go out. In this case, like the plant, it was, let me see, the plant, it was the sun, the shade.
Just to like add on to what Jenny was saying, people around you, what they're saying to you, it affects you too. Whether or not you want to admit it, it's energy. And that energy gets onto you. So you need to protect that energy. Protect who you're allowing to be
drain you.
Because they can drain you. But if it's the right kind of energy, they can inspire you, they can motivate you, they can like help you reach those goals. Period. I love that.
Okay, I'm 50. So I would tell my 35-year-old self, the one thing that can instantly and permanently transform your life is your own perception. If you can take control over your perception, you take control over your entire dang life.
Now that I'm 30 years old, I'm just now finally accepting like how I view myself. Accepted my body for what it is, and yeah, I'm like my body not be like hers.
Your like body is bomb. No, first of all.
Pero
I've seen your titties. Like
I've accepted it for what it is. Like even if it's just little things. Like sometimes I'll be in a sports bra and my underwear and walking around the house. To me, that's a big deal. To a lot, it's nothing. You think that you have to work on yourself and you have to remind yourself that it's a work in progress.
I was talking to my brother earlier, and he gave me like this really beautiful example about perception. And I don't really know the story that well. Basically, it's this guy who was just like a big up, and he took the SATs and he had like a really good score. He went on to be super successful. Then I want to say 5+ years later, he got contacted from like the testing program, I don't know, and they were like, oh sir, you know, those test results that you got, you and 10 other students actually got false reports. You actually scored really low.
Oh wow.
You actually failed. Here's this kid that was such a up, took this test, and this test like told him you are capable of doing so much. And he believed it, and he ran with that, and he went off to be successful. And it just kind of tells us like, imagine how much more successful you could be. Imagine what you're capable of if you believed in yourself.
One thing, fake it till you make it. Okay, because it's all in here. Every day you wake up, which I got from you. Every day you wake up, you look in the mirror, you gotta tell yourself, I'm that bitch, I'm that bad bitch, I'm not gonna let nothing get in the way. Back to what Jeannie was saying about the feeling better about herself at 30, I am like on that because
I know what you mean. Yeah.
accepted what we are. Like, okay, we got stretch marks. Okay, we got kids, but I'm still going to rock that outfit. I'm still going to look good. Mm-hmm. Not to mention Manny Boo here inspiring me to wear outfits I didn't even think I could wear.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just felt like 30-year-old looking good in a crop top.
Yeah, Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
He is our...
How dare he?
Leave my baby alone.
How dare
He was under the influence.
Run the clip, run the clip, run the clip. I'm about to run the clip right now. Pull up these receipts.
Yo tengo 28 y para mí ya tener 30 es ser un vejestorio. Ya tú eres un viejo anciano.
Anyway,
no we need to talk Bad Bunny.
Anyway, we ain't gonna give you no free promo over here. I'm just kidding. Send us tickets to your concert. This one's really long and he talks on like 4 different parts, so I'm gonna replay just the first one.
There are 4 more things that you absolutely should not do according to the Stoics. Don't look outside yourself for approval because we don't control other people. So their approval, to make that our goal, is to set ourselves up for disappointment.
I live and breathe by that first one. I know this is not necessarily about relationships, but I'm going to take it there. If they want to do right by you, they're going to do right by you. You cannot control this man. If this man wants to do whatever he wants to do, he is going to find a way to do it. Take that power back and you validate yourself. You don't need to look for that in a partner, a friend. You don't need to look for that anywhere other than yourself.
It's one of those things that's easier said than done. If you don't have that confidence in yourself, you wouldn't need validation from others. So I think some people, in my case, I struggle with that.
I was thinking about friends-wise, like sometimes you feel like you have to be a certain type of person. If you're that goofy, crazy person that acts a little crazy, if you're not able to be that person, then you're around the wrong people.
Yeah. That was the first one. Okay, this is the second one.
2, Seneca says, don't suffer imagined troubles. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be prepared for it, but it does mean that you don't suffer in advance because something might happen.
You know what? I'm really bad at this one because this one constantly has to tell me all the time, you just got to go with it. And I'm not trying to make this a horoscope type of thing, but Capricorns, earth signs are so big on being grounded. Pisces,
I'm a Pisces.
Okay, they be in their heads. They be dreaming.
I am a
they
dreamer.
Be out. She is a dreamer.
I am a very optimistic person. I am always looking at the positive of things. I could be a fucking hell, okay, and I'll be like, but you know what? I'm glistening in here, bitch. Look at me. I'm
you
glowing.
Really thriving
down here. I mean,
have you seen those TikTok where it's like, what are you, Virgo? Oh
hell no. So what I was getting at is I'm just too in my head about certain situations and I'm overthinking them and I'm so scared to jump out the box. But thank God I have a friend like this one that tells me, just leap, girl, just leap. Just do it.
A lot of the times, like, there is fears that drive. If you let those fears take over, you're never going to get anywhere. I've had to overcome a lot of fears on my own. I came from working in corporate America to doing content creation full time, and I was making a comfortable living, okay? So for me to have made that decision, obviously I'm very privileged, you know, I have the support of my husband, and, you know, I'm doing the damn thing now, but I had to overcome that super big fear of like, oh my God, like, what are people gonna think? Any brand's gonna want to work with me? Like, you know, like me being myself, like I act a fool. I be doing some shit, like, y'all know I act a fool sometimes.
Y'all
so
know
like,
Annie.
If you let the fear win, you're not gonna win in life. So that's my big thing. Fear. What about y'all?
For me, I think I'm gonna take this into like a relationship wise. You can be the best fucking wife, cook his dinner, whatever. At the end of the day, if he wants to cheat, he's gonna go ahead and cheat. Who told me? I think it was you.
That sure was me. He gonna do it.
He's gonna do it regardless. I'm not saying that he is or whatever, but I would be with my husband. I'm like, what is he doing? Who is he texting? What is that? And I would be up his ass about it. And it got to the point where it wasn't healthy. You can only hope for the best and go from there.
3, don't fear change. This comes from Marcus Aurelius. All of life is change. Everything good that's ever happened in your life has come from change. Life itself was change. You weren't here, and now you're here. That is change. You just have to accept and flow with change.
I don't like change. I'm gonna say that.
I love change. I do not like change.
I love change.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. At any point in my life, I get real comfortable. I was at the gym with a friend, and I remember saying, oh my God, I'm just so happy right now. Like, I love my life. I was just having a moment, and they were like, oh my God, me too. I kid you not, like that next week was like the worst week of my life.
How you jinxing your life?
I thought I was just like living my best life. I was so comfortable. But listen, God was like, think again, bitch. And so like my life just kind of came crumbling down. I went through so many changes and it was like never ending from there. No longer working in corporate America, quarantine, COVID. It's such a crazy experience too, because you're not the only one going through this major change. Like the whole world is going through this change with you.
Yeah.
So whatever I'm going through is for a reason. And even though like I can't see it in that moment, it's gonna get me to a better place. And I have full faith in that. That's why I'm just like, you know what? Bring it. Bring it.
I have to agree. I love change. If you would have told me at 25 that my life would be like this at 30, like I would be like delusional. As far as like depression, anxiety, I'm like, no, I have to go through this to get to the other side, become something better. Like our life is never gonna be like this again. I mean, this is how I grow as a person, and this is how I become better for it.
Yeah. I personally hate change. I hate change, but I will adjust to it.
She said, I'm with the shits.
I'm with the shits. Like you throw it at me, I'm be like, oh, fuck it. All right, I'll readjust. Me thinking job wise, so in a time like, oh, you gotta come in at this time, like everybody's like, oh, I'm so sorry, you gotta be there early. I'm like, okay, what's the deal? I'll grab a coffee, I'll wake up extra early, grab me some Starbucks, be at that job, like nothing. And he also said something about going with the flow. Whatever God wants me to have, I'll have.
Number 4, this is the most important one. You have to give up on the idea of revenge. The best revenge, Marcus Aurelius says, the best way to get even is to not be like them. They hurt you, but they themselves are hurting. That's 4 things you absolutely should not do, according to the Stoics.
I'm not too huge on revenge, but something that I know I have to work on is not holding so much of a grudge. Lord Jesus, y'all know I can hold a good grudge. I savor in that bitch, party in that bitch, thrive in being petty. But I know I have to work on that, like, and not holding grudges, because that shit weighs heavy. And I feel like that goes kind of hand in hand with revenge, because when you're seeking revenge, you're actively putting energy towards something so negative and ugly. And like this person, whoever did you dirty or whatever, has a hold on you. That's like the one thing that I don't like about myself. And I'm actively working on, but it takes 2, you know what I'm saying? Like I can be open to conversations, I can be open to things, but I'm also not going to be begging anybody to have a conversation with me, and knowing that that other person is human and that other person has feelings, complex feelings just like you have, and they probably feel some type of way about it too. And wherever it is that they're coming from a place of hurt. And like I said, they're human, right? And all you can do is like let that go, live your life. Okay, what about you guys?
I think mine kind of goes with what you're saying. I think that hate, that doesn't really go with revenge, but I think that hate is such a wasted energy. You put all this energy into something and somebody that doesn't even care about you. This person's like living their life.
Well, I'm really big on holding grudges also, but at the same time, what Jenny said, why hold on to such like emotion that's hurting you? You know what I'm saying? You can get sick. Why are you killing yourself for someone that's not even thinking about you?
Yeah, exactly.
Someone's not thinking about you.
This next one is a hard one.
Emotional?
Yeah.
No, because I'm sensitive right now. No, pues voy a llorar.
I love my parents, and I'm not responsible for their emotional well-being. I'm not responsible for my dad's happiness. I'm not responsible for my mom's happiness. And I'm not responsible for my mom's anxiety, her worries. I'm not responsible for her guilt. And I'm not responsible for my dad's his shame. I'm not responsible for my dad's unavailability. Growing up Chinese, I was made to feel kind of guilty a lot. I was made to feel like it was my fault or I was responsible if my dad got angry, if they got into a fight. And I was made to feel like it was my job as their son I was obligated to help them fix their problems. I was obligated to speak for them. I was obligated to do whatever they want so I can make them happy. I learned that I can support my parents, and I will, but I can't be completely responsible for them to be happy, because only they are responsible, and only they can really control if they're happy or not. Because I have my own life too, because I'm allowed to have different thoughts, I'm allowed to feel differently than they do, and it's not okay. It's not okay for our parents to guilt trip us, to shame us, and to tell us, how we should be living, how we should be feeling, and to feel that we don't have a choice because they're our parents. She's my mom. I have to do this the way that she wants, right here, right now, without a choice. So I love my parents. I respect my parents. I will support my parents, and I'm not responsible for their happiness.
I'm about to cry, bitch.
I have a lot of survivor's guilt within my family alone. Seeing them now and where they're at now, and like seeing any kind of sadness. God, I wish I could just give them everything that they need, but it's like, you're not responsible for them. And it goes beyond just like my parents, right? It goes like onto my siblings. It goes onto like my friends. I'm a huge empath. Like, God, I can't fucking see a video of people crying. God, I'll start crying. Like, it's just like, I fucking, like, I'm a Pisces. I cannot help this. The stars aligned.
I live in the water.
Yeah,
bitch.
like the stars aligned and made me like this. It's so hard, right? Because we're Latinos and we're like always told that you have this like sense of responsibility to support them and you got to do everything they say. But it's like, no, you don't.
My dad was brought up pretty much no affection, and I always thought that it's us. Me and my sisters, I'm like, oh, it's us. He never told us, I love you growing up. When we were little, we were baby, but I can't remember. I can't sit here and be like, oh, I can't remember last time my dad told me I love you. Now that I'm older, I see my dad now, how he is with Sam, my son, and he's this completely different person. I'm just like, wow. Like, I couldn't, in a way, I'm like a little bit jealous.
Like, where were you at when I needed you?
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm super glad that he's like the best grandpa in the world. And with my mom, so it's like, in a way, I'm proud of my mom. In a way, I'm proud of the person that she is because of all the trauma that she went through. The mindset that I'm at right now, I have to kind of be selfish in a way. I think about my trauma and try to fix it, because I don't want someone to grow up and be like, I wanted to make my mom happy, or I wanted to, I don't want that trauma on him. So that's what I just wanted to say.
I don't think I hold anything against my parents. I know infidelity plays a big part in parents a lot. I was definitely that toxica daughter that, I believe I caught my dad at a restaurant talking to this one waiter, and I went to the restaurant with my mother, and my mother's like, no, I'm not going to go in there because my mom's not the confrontational type. But guess what, baby? You got the wrong one. Because I am. We all make mistakes. We live and we learn. Mama got a new boyfriend. Yeah. My daddy all alone and shit. But, I love him. I love her too.
You have to do him like that.
I really did.
Damn. He all alone and shit.
He all alone and shit. Making his own lunches.
Don't be that
guy. Karma. Mama said, no worries. I'll find another one.
She said, you gonna miss this lunch.
You gonna miss this pozole.
I just want to say thank you to my ladies for coming on here and being vulnerable with me and sharing.
Vulnerable.
Very, very vulnerable.
That's a Capricorn crying.
Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below which is the one that you related to most, and feel comfortable to share your stories with us. We'd love to hear it, and we will see y'all next time.
Bye.
What is it from Bring It On Again?
Brittany.
Sweating already. It's the alcohol.
Get your kids to sleep right now, because this is not PG.
This is Adult Swim.
This is
oh my God, Adult Swim.
Oh my God, that's
y'all
not
remember that?